Yeah, he would have done. He would have been on the edge of his seat at times, but absolutely. I mean, this is the only club in the whole career as a player and as a coach that he's not been to. So that's a disappointment for me that could never come to Sacramento, because he would have loved this. He would have loved this atmosphere. But you know, like I said there, I'm happy now that it's over, and that my mum and the family can move on. But it was a proud night, very proud night. And it shows what a special club we've got, the way they've gone about things when that's concerned. So great night in the end.
And Danny Barrera just seems to pick guys out at just the right time, doesn't he?
Well, yeah, he does, and it was important that Cameron and Tommy and even Nishaw there stayed inside, because we knew they played a high line, and it's a dangerous game. You play a high line, you want to play the offside trap, and when you've got Barrera who can pick your pocket, you can put balls through like that. We thought that was definitely a route to goal for us tonight, and it proved that way. So the boys up front were patient with their runs, intelligent, and Danny was good enough to find them. And it's been a good night for us. I think 8 goals in the last 2 games. Great return. I was delighted with the clean sheet as well.
And Wilson had a pretty good debut there.
Wilson?
Goal.
Yeah. I've liked him in training. He's someone that's come in and not really taken any time to settle. He's a bullish lad. He's only small, but you can see he looks dangerous. I think that in training we've seen him look dangerous, and the game's a different story, of course. But I really fancied that he was intelligent enough to get in behind them, and it showed it. I mean, he looks a threat. He's a good signing.
And the defense, it bent a little, but it didn't break.
Yeah, I mean they're a good side. They're not a team that's full of players that run the down. Their players are on the up. They're good players. Nonetheless, two-side, and they proved that. There's a lot of pace in the team. We're still missing an out-and-out right back. So Tavo's doing a job there, and James came back in. Decided to leave Carlos out. It's unfortunate for Carlos, but decided to go with that. But they were going to cause us problems. We never get an easy ride here at Bonnyfield, and it proved that way. But we were resilient. I think we blocked a lot more around the edge of the box tonight. We didn't let them have a real clear sight second half, and it was 2-0 a precarious scoreline, as we know last time out. So it was important that we regrouped at half time and had a game plan, and I think the players deserve credit for sticking to that.
And Tommy's getting some minutes here, and it's starting to show what he can do, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I said to Tommy at half time, just make your mind up. You're getting into some good positions, and you're not pulling the trigger. And I thought second half he did that. We know how dangerous he can be, and I thought in the end we were clinical. I mean, maybe the goal Cam gets, he's got to learn to take the ball around the goalkeeper. Something he's got to add to his game. But he looked strong again, and the goals were good goals. I mean, the Fontes was a good goal. I think it was the Fonte, and then Nishaw taking it around, and Thompson. They were clean. They were lovely goals. And we really did put the sword to them, so to speak. I think it was a case of being patient, waiting, playing in half the field, letting them come on to us and pick them off, and we did it very well.
Paul, was this the best that the team has played since you have been a coach?
No, I don't think so. Not tonight, no. I still think there's more to come from the team. I think one thing that we've had to do is change the team. I haven't been able to field a settled team, and that brings its own problems. So we used a lot of subs tonight. I think at times we looked very fluent, we looked good, and then at other times we're a little bit disjointed. That's because, like I say, we've got players sort of out of position. Emma Clementa was a huge loss. I think we wobbled for a bit when Emma left the team. We had a wobble, but we've recovered. And what we've got to do now, I wanted the resilience after the away game, where we're 4-1 up and we make it difficult for ourselves. We've got to learn to manage the game. And I think if you notice when we scored, I said to the defenders, I don't want you to go and celebrate. I don't want you running up the field and celebrating. I want you ready to defend, because in the last game when we were winning 4-1, they kicked and the door went in 3 times. So that can't happen, and I didn't want that to happen tonight. Right. So they pushed us, but the door didn't fall through. And what we was able to do then was was capitalise on the space they were leaving. So they were the things that I wanted to make sure, because they're the things that are going to, if we're going to do anything this year, we've got to get it right at both ends. So there's always stuff to work on. I still think there's more to come.
We were noticing that seems to me there's a kind of a special relationship between Tommy and Cameron now. They're really starting to be on the same page.
Yeah.
They're looking for each other. They're playing balls through to each other.
Yeah.
Any thought on that, on their partnership?
I think they're two good players. They're two intelligent footballers. They're played with a lot of flair. I think Cameron's games come on no end. I really do. I think he's, we played him up front tonight. We played him on the right. I played him in the middle of the pitch. Because when you play with Hall or Fonzo sitting, you can be a bit more dynamic in the two in front. And I think that good players play well together. And I think there's two good players. And in the end, we had the most attacking team I think I've ever fielded. With Tricket-Smith on the pitch and Nishaw and Barrera, and But that's how we want to be. But we never get an easy game at Sacramento.
No.
Teams come here and they're up for it because of the stadium and the fans. So it's going to get exciting now, which is something to look forward to.
Paul, with Nisha getting his first goal and Carlton Cole coming in and Thompson playing well and Wassa's also playing well, I mean, how hard is the selection process going to be for you as a manager down the stretch of the season?
Well, I have to remain focused on what's important, and it's important to pick the right team. That's my job. That's what I'm paid to do. I'm not interested in I said at the start of the season, we want to have 20 plus heroes at the club. I'm not interested in one or two and superstars in teams. So we won't have that. Even Cohen will know that when he comes in. We've got a team in. We've got a very good team, and I'll pick the team on merit. I'll pick it on merit. I think I've showed that with LaGrassa. LaGrassa is a prime example to any player at our club. Doesn't matter how old you are or inexperienced. If you do the business, you stay in. And he's had to go out on loan to get minutes. Did very well at Tulsa. Come back and he stays in. And this is the competition. I wanted competition for places. I've waited a long time to bring some players to the club. And Colton will add value. He's experienced. Nishaw will add value. We left Williams out tonight because Harry, he struggled with the hand. Same with Kip Colby. And I don't want to carry anyone now. I feel now we have a squad where if you're fit, you've got a chance. If you're sort of half fit, then you probably won't get in because we've got a good squad now going into the running.
8 goals over 2 games, 5 in the first half. What finally clicked on the offense?
That's a good question, actually. No, really. I think Cameron's on a good run now. He's into double figures. He's a real promising young player. Thompson, we know, can score goals. We were very clinical. We've asked Caval and LaGrassa to get on more now, and he did that very well, JJ, last game out. So I think it's about being critical. We've seen us miss so many chances this season. I mean, you could write a book on it, how many chances this. In the last 2 games, we put the ball in the net, and it makes life easier for us. So that's the key. The key is to be clinical, and I think the goals were. I think we punished them tonight, and that was the difference.
How much of this team can stay together for MLS?
I'm not so sure. It depends when MLS comes. I mean, that's a challenge for everyone at the club. That's a challenge for the coaches. It's a challenge for the players, me, that you want to play at the highest level or coach at the highest level. So that's the highest level in our country, and that's the carrot for every player. So when it comes, the game's about working hard every day for a player, a coach. And I think, again, if you look at Wassa's levels have gone up tenfold. And it's because of hard work. So if they keep working hard, this group, and they stick together, they've got a chance. And we've proved that we've let players go last season to go and play higher. So just hopefully MLS will be sooner rather than later.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, I've got Cameron coming with your people. Let's talk to them.
Yeah, thank you.
Get me out of here.
Thank you.